SWAPO MP Richard Gausep, in his contribution, expressed disappointment that the bill under review does not include a provision for mandatory counselling. Gausep urges that incorporating mandatory counselling into marriage laws could significantly reduce divorce rates by ensuring that couples are fully prepared for the long-term commitment of marriage.
When people went for marriage, whether you are 18, 21, or 33 years old, whether whoever you are, in the clause I was reading very much to see why is counseling being removed from this type of bills. If counseling is going to be made compulsory, then the marriage officer must give counseling to the spouses. It will help us to reduce so many divorces in this country. But if there is no more counseling, divorce becomes like a drinking of tea and split it out anytime you wanted to do it. So I would like to see that in this beautiful bill, that counseling must be made a compulsory thing, that when young people now or whoever is going to marry must first go a compulsory counseling training, so that he or she must understand why she or he is taking this decision to marry.
A different issue emerged concerning misconceptions about Pentecostal practices and youth marriages. LPM Party MP Harald Kambrunde addressed recent claims that Pentecostal churches promote early marriages without parental consent, asserting that such claims are unfounded. Kambrunde emphasized that Pentecostal churches do not endorse marriages without parental consent. Instead, he said they advocate for young people to avoid living together outside of marriage.
Sitting here and listening to people making statements as if Pentecostal churches are the only churches that makes mistakes, which is not true. I totally disagree with that. Marrying or allowing children to marry is not a Pentecostal issue. Yes, I am defending, because it is totally unfair to make this an issue of Pentecostal churches. It is allowed in the Roman Catholic Church, it is allowed in the Lutheran Church, it's allowed everywhere. Even in cultures, people allow kids, young kids, to marry. They sell off their children. They give off their children. When you are that age, you are going to marry that man. So let us be careful and not become abusive towards specific churches around here. Because I belong to a Pentecostal church, and in my church, we do not allow people to marry without the consent of their parents and without their own consent. So we don't force people to marry young, as the picture is portrayed here, as if Pentecostal churches are having this issue of making kids to marry. What we're telling people is, it's better to marry than to live in sin. That's what we did, instead of the some lever that many churches allow.
Martha Mwafangeo, NBC News, Parliament.